Hello, and welcome to today's daily devotion as we are working our way through the book of Proverbs. And today we are kicking off Proverbs chapter 5. As in the first 6 verses, we are going to take a look at the 7th of 10 discourses to my son. Verse 1 says, excuse me, "My son, pay attention to my wisdom, listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion and your lips may preserve knowledge. For the lips of an adulteress drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps lead straight to the grave. Excuse me. Excuse me. She gives no thought to the way of life. Her paths are crooked, but she knows it not." Let's take a look at, as I said, this is the 7th of 10 discourses and the first of 3 of them that deal with sexual purity. Obviously, 3 out of 10, God considers this a very important subject. When we're talking about sexual morality in general, it's a reflection of our faithfulness or unfaithfulness to God because He is our heavenly bridegroom. God takes this topic very seriously. In fact, the intimate connection between sexual chastity and devotion to the Lord led many of the Bible writers to speak of idolatry as prostitution. Uh, Prophet Ezekiel talked about God's people had left him and called them a prostitute because of their unfaithfulness. More than that, in times of widespread unbelief, one of the first areas to break down is the family. And unfortunately, you know what, we see that today as the actual nuclear family is constantly under attack in our society today, that it does not matter that having fathers in the home or mothers in the home or both parents in the home together and having husband and wife love and honor each other. This is a constantly under attack idea in our country today. The rest of these verses have to do with an adulteress. They say her speech is inviting. It's honey and oil. She's sweet and smooth when she's tempting you to unfaithfulness to the Lord. She promises every kind of delight, always with the lie that you'll get away with it. It'll be okay. In the end, of course, there is nothing but misery. He says that it leads straight to the grave. It's as bitter as gall. You can see how much she has left the Lord, that her ways are crooked. Her path leads straight to the grave. In the end, sin and unfaithfulness lead only to misery, both in this life and forever in hell. And this is dangerous. God takes it seriously because, especially sexual sins, but all sin, it can become, you can get to a point where you become so hardened in sin, so used to excusing your ways that you no longer see how far astray you've gone. That's why we take sin seriously. That is also especially why we take sexual sin seriously. Because it becomes so easy to explain it away, for a husband to complain while his wife is never there for him, or for a wife to complain how her husband never cares for her and shows tenderness for her anymore. And then it becomes one time that we explain it away, and then another time and another time until we stop caring. That's the nature of sin in general. It snowballs out of control. And that's why true godly wisdom, we've seen in Proverbs, is walking in the ways of the Lord. That makes our path straight. Not easy, but straight because we know where we are headed. We are headed in the wisdom and the forgiveness of the Lord. So let's ask God to help us walk that path. Dear Jesus, help me to continue walking in your path, following your ways, not because I'm trying to earn anything, but I have full forgiveness in you. And I want to live for you in thanksgiving all the days of my life. Help me to turn away from sin and toward you in pure righteousness and holiness, following you all the days of my life. Forgive me for the times when I stumble and I fall into sin, and bring me back clutching to you so that I may never get used to sin, but I always struggle against it. In your name I pray. Amen. Thanks for joining me. God bless your day, and I will see you next time.